now we're tasked to choose, what path are we going to take? This path? You're going straight? Or this path? It's telling me to keep going straight. Okay. I hope I remember the way to get back, Spirit. Damn. This is deep. Even for me, I haven't been this far deep in this cemetery. And I love this cemetery. So now, right? Now you're faced, right? Now you have this year or so of your life, right? Where you just smell like death. I mean that figuratively and literally, right? You smell like death. And what do I mean by you smell like death? You smell like your old self. You smell like decisions that you've made either by choice or by force, right? You smell like all the parts of yourself that you've let go, let to rot, right? And not rot naturally, because we all have phases in our lives. We all have different points in our lives where we are one thing to suit, oh my God, words, to suit a certain purpose, right? A certain task, a certain lesson, right? And then we move on. We allow that part of ourselves to die. And we allow ourselves to have a proper grievement for that part of ourselves. Now, the grievement may look like different things, right? But we'll get to that in a second. But you allow yourself to die to yourself. You allow yourself to die to certain environments and situations and people that no longer freaking serve you, that actually drain you. Your energy, the reason why people say time is money is because it is. Because money is a currency. It's a wave. It's an energetic wave. Time is an energetic wave. Emotions are energetic wave. All emotions, even rage, is an energetic wave, right? That we go in and out of. Or if you don't allow yourself to feel, then you are backed up. And what's backed up for long enough explodes. What's not attended to explodes. Then you have a nervous breakdown, or you have a depressive episode, or you have a manic episode, or, your gifts, your spiritual gifts become rancid, and then you have mental health issues like bipolar 1 and 2, dementia, Alzheimer's, schizophrenia. All these things are just you at your wit's end. Your energetic body is at its wit's end, and it no longer can continue to hold itself back anymore. So now it starts eating at yourself because it needs more energy. It can't do its proper duties of flourishing your gifts. It can't, shine. It can't allow you to shine. It can't allow you to, speak freely. It can't allow you to be creative because it's so backed up. You've built a wall. You've kept it in a iron closet. Okay? So this is where all these things happen. Now, I'm saying that not because it's the end, because it's never the end. Death is never the end. Fully. It's a transition. It's a transition from one wave to the next. It's two different currents, which are like current events, right? What are you currently on? It's all energy. It's all water, right? And I'm gonna talk in elements because that's also my forte. And being an earth sign, I am a Virgo season. Give it up. I do have a a Pisces moon and a Libra rising. So water, earth, and air are very, very prominent elements within me. And I do understand life through those elements. And again, take what resonates to you. Okay? So now what happens when you die to yourself? Again, this is multifaceted, so I will be making some more videos on this. As I watch it back, I'll probably find some other things that I can elaborate on, and we'll go from there, right? But now, what happens when you die? When you allow yourself to finally choose something new? What happens now? What happens now? Silence. Because we now have come to another fork in the road. I love how this happens. We have now come to another fork in the road. We now have to make another choice. The first choice we made led us to this fork in the road, to die to our old selves. Now what do we want to do? Do we want to try to pick up the broken pieces and try to wear this mask again, knowing that it doesn't fit, knowing that it stinks, knowing that it hurts our face? Are we going to try to do this shit again? Are we going to try to half-ass it and one day put on the mask and one day take off the mask? Or are we going to fully feel it and allow ourselves to die to ourselves, have a ceremony, and start the grieving process? We're going to start the grieving process. Because we don't play no games here. We've tried this. We've tried to put the shit back on. Wear the mask one more again. Maybe this time it'll fit. Maybe I'll grow into it. No, you won't. No, the fuck you won't. It's still gonna fucking hurt. It's still gonna freaking reek. I'll give you a story. So, like I said before, a lot of people are like, why do you love hanging out in the cemetery? Why do you are dark and spooky and all this shit? Like, I've loved this shit since I was younger, right? When I was younger, I loved Tim Burton's. I still like Tim Burton now, but I've kind of moved on to a different thing as far as with his narrations. But, he's still a cool guy. When I was younger, when Number for Christmas first came out, my mother, we were in Virginia. My father's family's from the South. And we were in Virginia, and we were visiting family. I think it was a holiday or something. And Nightmare for Christmas had freshly came out, but now it was on TV. And so my mother loves horror movies. And she saw the movie, and she was like, okay, we'll watch it. It's claymation, like it's still, kiddie, if you will. And she told me that when it was being shown, she said I watched it through open fingers, meaning my hands were covering my eyes, but they were still open so I could watch it. So I had free liberty of when I wanted to close my eyes and when I wanted to not look at it, but I couldn't look away. I should have known that was going to make me one of the groovy ghoulies down the line, but okay. So, stuff like this. But back to the other story, right? So, I've had to die to myself multiple times. Multiple times over the years. And I've prolonged that dying multiple times, right? And this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because I've done all the hard work for you already, like, so you don't have to do it yourself. Just listen and just don't fucking do it. Do the other thing, please. So I'll give you an example. I was leaving a abusive relationship, and I'll do a story time about that as well too, because I do have a few things on narcissistic abuse survival. It's not going to be like Dr. Romney or all these other doctors who look at it from a clinical standpoint. I'm going to look at it from an energetic standpoint. So if you want all the clinical banter, keep with them. But if you want both and you want to stick around for my bullshit, but also my truth, then stay tuned for that. But I was leaving a narcissistic, abusive relationship. And I had a job. I was working for the city. And I managed to get out. Right? And I stayed in this job for another year. Right? Maybe another year and a half. I stayed at this job. Because I already made a year there. I was there for like 2.5 years. And I was doing a bunch of healing, and I started, tapping into Reiki and getting those certifications and learning about what we're talking about here and really feeling it. And I was at this job that was really draining me, and it wasn't allowing me to do what I wanted to do, meaning my purpose, right? Which is life coaching, which is energy healing, which is Reiki, which is, healing through arts, whether it be creative arts, visual arts, dancing, all these things, right? Because there's a healing component to that, right? And so I had created a workshop, and it was booming. But at some point, just everything started to go wrong. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is everything going wrong? Like, whoa. No, not right now. I can't afford to. I'm on my own. I can't afford this right now. And slowly but surely, the mask was being revealed of the energy within my workplace, right? There were so many things that were happening that was just beyond disheartening, right? I started getting snubbed for promotions. I started having altercations. I started being annoyed at just the simplest thing, like just my supervisor fucking breathing was just driving me up the goddamn wall. Like, oh my god. The meetings, the new policies, all the things was just starting to really drive the nail in. I was extremely unhappy. I was already unhappy to begin with before I left the narcissistic abusive relationship, but it was worse. It just got worse. And I was like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on? I said, let me stick it out. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make this mask fit. I'm gonna make it fit. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna do this, right? And then came the point where universe was like, I said, leave. This is not what you wanted. This is not what you've been asking for. And this is not in alignment with your frequency. These are two waters going against itself, and it's not working. You got fresh water, you got salt water. You are fresh water. You are sweet water, if you understand the terminology there. You are sweet water. Why are you settling? Why are you forcing something that we're trying to force out? You're forcing something to fit, and we're forcing it out because we already know. We already have something else better for you. I don't understand why you're trying to make this dumpster fire work. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen, right? And so I said, you know what? I've getting back into trusting my intuition, trusting myself, because in a narcissistic relationship, the narcissist wants you to not trust yourself. They want all the reliance on them. You have no strength. You have no support. And when you're beaten down, they want you to look down, to look to them, even though they're the one beating you down. Financially, emotionally, sexually, physically, energetically, financially, like all these things. They're the ones beating you down. I'm the one to build you up. I'm the one to knock you down. And I'm the one to say when and where and how you can have growth. Like that's their motto. That's the spirit that's in them, their motto. Right? So I left, and I'm like getting back into myself. And so I said, you know what? No. I gotta make this work. You know, working out of a scarce mentality. And the universe and my guides, they said, I said no. And the way that they say I said no leads to, I had full-blown panic attacks, crying like crazy at my cubicle, like a baby, like I was grieving all over again. And I was still grieving the relationship and the death of my old self, and the death of what I thought this relationship was going to be, but also having the realization of what it actually was, which causes more grief. We'll talk about that another time, right? And I kept having these episodes, and I kept talking to my friends, and I kept talking to my coworkers, and it was just like, I don't understand it. Until one day, the universe sent me a dream, and they said, this is why we're having you leave. And I had to make the hard decision. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to wear this mask anymore. You know what? I'm actually going to unpack this bag. I'm going to leave. Again. Because I made that hard decision months prior to that, right? So this is what I'm talking about, right? Having that death to yourself. Having that death to the mask, to the old bag that just has been like, you just didn't clean it out, like that. You were stepping over that shit, constantly stepping over it, all the time, letting it collect dust, throwing it back in the, the corner. Or maybe you said, oh yeah, I'm gonna clean it up, and you took that duffel bag and put it in a bigger duffel bag, and it's like, girl, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? Nothing. You're doing nothing. A bunch of nothing, right? So now we're on another fork in the road. Now it's time to choose. Okay. So now that you've chosen to take off the mask, to unpack, your bags, you've chosen to walk the unbeaten path. Now what? Well, now comes the juicy part. Are we going to wallow in the emotion? Are we going to just say that's just how it is and not heal? Or are we going to feel everything and try this shit again? We're going to feel everything and try this shit again. We're going to feel everything and try this shit again. So now, this is another thing that I want to have you keep in mind. If you've noticed and you've been keeping track of the paths that we've been on in this video, not only just the talk, right, the deep dive, but you can see, there's a bumblebee, beautiful. Thank you, Mom. You can see we have come back to one of the forks in the roads that we had previously, where we decided we're gonna go straight. Now we're at the same place where we were a couple of minutes ago, or if we're talking about your life, a couple of hours ago, couple of years ago, we're in the same place as we were before. Yet the perspective is different. We came down from this path, but we decided to go down this path. And somehow we ended up back at the third choice that we decided not to go to. And you have the question, how did I get here? Now's the perfect time. But to answer the question, how did I get here? You did the work. You didn't know where you were going on this path, and you took other detours. We took detours, girl. And it landed us back here. Because we were always meant to be back here, just at a different perspective. Because we were given different paths to take. All paths lead you back to where you need to be. They lead you back to where you need to be. So now do we go back down here and try this lesson again and start replaying shit over and over? Do we try to go backwards and fulfill some other shit? Or do we go forward and see where this path takes us and have trust and faith that the universe will never steer us wrong or steal from us something that wasn't ours to begin with? So now we're ready to take this path. Just because you can see the path doesn't mean that it's unlocked. It's like a video game, right? Sometimes you see, oh, you have this cool character, or you have whatever it may be, right? We want to go and check out this part of the game, of this level. But every time you try to go there, I'm gonna insert it here. Every time you try to go there, your character is just like walking against air and it ain't moving. I know you guys know that. Those who play video games, that you gotta finish the other shit before you can unlock this part. So now that it's unlocked, venga, let's go, right? So I want us to keep in mind that I know I keep saying you have to die to yourself, right? And the dying to yourself is a metaphor for complete the mission, complete the task, complete the lesson first. In order for you to get to the next level, you have to have a certain amount of understanding, clarity, and free room. You can't enter this level, you can't ride this wave with a broken boat, with a broken surfboard. I don't surf, but you know, you get the analogy, right? You can't enter here without certain knowledges, certain keys. There's certain doors that will not open to you if you are not vibrating where you need to vibrate, being where you need to be. So now that this section is open, again, we're coming to another fork in the road. And sometimes we keep running into the same people. As you can see, there's a woman up ahead, and it's the same woman that I ran into earlier, if you remember. You keep meeting the same people along the path. This is your soul family. This is your soul tribe. These are the people that were always meant to walk alongside you, but they too have their own missions, and they can't interact with you or talk to you or be with you until they finish their lessons. And they're all with their maps and this and that, trying to figure out the same shit you're trying to figure out. And it's perfectly fine.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah.
So now we're in another fork in the road. Alright? Do we go down this path, or this path? Okay? So this is just a little, I hope I didn't speak in like complete circles with you guys. I really wanted to have you guys understand your journey. You know, you may be sitting at the steps of your life and saying, what the fuck is going on? Why can't these people get it together? Why am I losing people? Why are these things not coming to me when I need them? When I ask for them? Let's unpack that. We're going to be unpacking a lot of shit. We're going to be unpacking. We're going to be deep diving. By the time you guys are done with me, which I hope you're never done with me, because this is an ongoing, never-ending journey. Why am I going through these things? How do I reach these kids? And the kids be you. How do I reach myself? I paid the bill. I paid the phone bill. Like, the fuck? Why isn't this phone working? Because you may be in a no service zone. And just because you're in a no service zone doesn't mean you're not getting the phone calls. It's just the phone calls are coming from inside the house, not outside the house. You have to think you're like the operator for your own life. Well, you are, but yeah, you're the own operator for your own life. But you have to answer the call within before you can really hear the call on the outside. Right? So now you're at the beginning. Right? You're at the beginning of this new journey of seeing what it is that you actually pushed down, zipped away in your duffel bag, right? That you hid, locked away in your closet, in your Iron Maiden, right? Now's I'm gonna say it's the hard part, but perspective is everything. So if you deem it hard, then it'll be hard. If you deem it easy, then it might just be easy. If you deem it both and realize the duality of it, it'll be it. Right? So now we're here. Now it comes with finally unpacking your baggage and finally, reawakening and to yourself and allowing yourself to be reborn. Now what comes with that is, so what does this mean? What did it mean when I put it away? Now you start looking into things like, was this taught to me? Did I just see someone do it and say, well, they made it, they're good, believe the mask that they were wearing, right? If they could do it, I could do it. If they could hide, I could hide even better. And then when you realize hiding hurts, hiding drains me, hiding takes too much energy up that I could be using to service the world energetically, creatively. Hiding strips me of joy, leaves me with anger, right? Am I okay with that? As we come to the next fork in the road, but now we only have two choices. We either don't feel it, or we feel it and allow ourselves to get the help that we need, reach out, put our ego aside and say, you know what, I can't do this on my own, at least this part. There's some parts you will be able to do it on your own, and you only can do it on your own because distractions are a motherfucker. They really are. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask for help. Okay? We're gonna ask for help. We're going to seek out new communities and people who are searching for the same thing that we are, but also doing the work. You could be searching for shit and just keep looking. You're a professional looker. It's the same thing that I used to tell you know, my clients when I was working in my old position in the workforce. You know, yeah, you're looking for work, that's great, but you could be a professional looker. Looking for work and obtaining work are two separate things. They're two separate walks of life. You know what I mean? You could be looking for days, for years, and think you're doing something, and you're not. There's multiple things that come into that. You're looking for work, you're applying, right? I'm using this as an analogy, but it's all the same freaking thing. You're applying, right? You're maybe making a log, right? Or you just asking people, telling people you're looking for work. But the real work is, okay, you're doing that, but are you keeping a log of it, of what you've been applying to? Are you being strategic with what it is that you're applying to, looking for, right? Are you trying different methods? Are you putting yourself out there? It's all the same thing. Even to the point where maybe you're making a career change and you're like, man, I don't know where to go with this, and maybe I'm without a job for a while, but am I getting the certifications? Am I switching up something on the learning? Am I working on myself so that my mentality and my thought pattern and my thought processes, right, are completely different by the time this job comes around? Am I looking within? Am I asking for spiritual guidance? All these things matter. Am I doing this part of the work? And if the answer is yes, then you're good. Keep believing yourself. Keep, believing and having faith in yourself and having faith in the universe at the same time. The universe will literally be like, you can have faith in me all you want, but it's double, baby. You have faith in yourself, because I can believe in you all I want. I could give you all the signs and symbols as I'm looking at a yellow butterfly flying around in front of me. I could give you all the signs and symbols that you ask for, I could try to talk to you. But if your antenna's not working, if you can't receive that radio signal, if your radio only does FM, and I'm trying to give you AM or some other, radio frequency, how do I know you're going to get the message? I did my part. I'm doing my part, says the universe. You have to allow yourself to be open to new things, to new possibilities, right? You have to allow yourself to be open to try things differently and step out of your comfort zone. You have to allow yourself to be seen. And that's that part scares people. The fear of being seen. And I've done the same thing. This is me getting out of that. The fear of being seen. So now we're here at another fork in the road. I love the way this works. Are we gonna not be seen? Or are we just going to grab a bull's balls and be seen? We're gonna be seen. right? And there's this quote, and I I always tell people I speak in metaphors. I speak in analogies. There's and song lyrics and movie quotes. But if you guys ever seen the movie not Princess Diaries, Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff, right? There's this line in there, and I'll probably insert it in there right now. Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from being in the game. That's this. People are gonna strike out. You're gonna strike out. You're gonna fall. You're gonna hurt yourself sometimes. You're gonna probably need recuperation from falling, from striking out. But you gotta keep going. Shit, if you see these people who are just like probably the worst at what they do, maybe they keep going. Because at some point, all those lessons, all those failures, all those things accumulate into you, what's the word I'm looking for? Achieving the understanding of the lesson, learning the lesson, right? Just gotta say it plain sometimes. Sometimes people want to overcomplicate shit, self included. You know what I mean? Like, just say it how it is, and if it's plain and it sounds like baby, but if you get it, fine. You got it. That's all I fucking care about. Like, you know? But now you understand. Now you could do things differently. And that's what life is all about. Those striking outs are different versions of you dying. To tie it all back together. Those are different versions of you dying. To yourself. So that now you could do things differently. And you may take a detour. You may step off the path really quickly just to see something. I'll give this example. Keep in mind, when you go to cemeteries, and if they're not on your bloodline, ask to walk along before stepping. Thank you. I asked telepathically. Because I'm not fully going on. I'm going around because it looks like there's there we go. I found it. The pond. Lovely. You follow the path. See, this is slightly beaten path. If you ever decide to go to Woodlawn Cemetery, it's such a beautiful place. It's like you can be looking for ages, walking for ages. Just make sure you go early because they do close at 4 o'clock. They close at 4 o'clock sharp. But I feel like this is a beautiful place to end this video at this pond, this river, right? Don't be afraid of the detours, of the delays. And I'm telling you guys this, but I'm also telling myself this as well too, because listen, I know I talk a mean thing, and I be right. And I'll be telling people this, and spirits like, tell yourself this, but this is why you go into nature. And this is why you go into nature. The universe, Earth, Gaia, the archangels, the Orisha, all of them all, even the ones that I haven't even mentioned, they all convene in nature. And if you can't think of how to go about a certain thing, if you just need to cry, and crying is a releasement of energy. You're trying to purge, cry lots. It's healthy to cry, right? Don't hold them shits in, right? But if you're unsure, maybe you don't like church, maybe you don't like, I'm not a church person, but maybe you don't like church, maybe you don't like organized religion, maybe you just want to have a one-on-one relationship with source, higher source, whatever name you put it on. Come into nature. Come into nature. If it's one thing that I have come to understand as a Afro-diasporic Wiccan, this is what I call it, because this is what spirit has formed for me as a Afro-diasporic Wiccan. The one thing that all these things have in common is the earth, is nature, is the spirits that inhabit the trees, that inhabit the water, that inhabit the earth, the air, the rocks, the trees, the fire, all of it. If you come out here and you speak to nature and you tell it what's happening, tell the water spirits what's happening, tell the wind spirits what's happening, tell the trees what's happening, tell the birds, the animals what's happening, they listen to you. And this goes hand in hand with my last video that I was talking about, where I know it was just for the new moon in Virgo that was happening on the 22nd of August 2025, right? And today's the 24th. But if you talk to her, you talk to Gaia, she'll always listen. She'll send at least 1 or 2 people out here to answer you, to give you reassurance. But she can't help you if you don't ask. There's infinite amounts of blessings and things out here. Infinite. Don't think you're asking for too much. But you have to do the work. You have to do the inner work at least, so that you can receive it. So beautifuls, this is my TED Talk. This might be broken up into 2 parts because already it's lengthy right now, but there's so much beautiful things that go into this healing journey. So I want to thank the earth, I want to thank the air, I want to thank the fire, and I want to thank the water, and I want to most definitely thank the ether or spirit for their assistance and their guidance in this beautiful message, in this beautiful channel, in this beautiful learning experience that is never ending. And I hope to see you guys again. Stay wavy.